Hi everyone, this is Professor Ortiz. I'm your instructor for Sociology 101. It is the introductory course for the field, and I just wanted to make this short video to get to know you, or you to get to know me. So my name is Dolores Ortiz. I will be in communication with you mainly through the discussion boards and via email, but I want to make maybe a 10-15 minute video for each unit. So this one is just to introduce the class and myself. This is my first year at Oxnard College. It's not my first year teaching, so I'll tell you a little bit about my background, some of the places I taught before, a little bit about me as a person, and then get into the requirements for the class, some tips on how to succeed, and also just a little bit of what the field of sociology is. So I see that many of you have actually already started on the introductory assignments, but I just want to give a little bit more foundation for them. So about myself, my undergraduate education is from USC. I was a double major in sociology and gender studies. I also minored in psychology. Most of all of that is from being indecisive. And so I do think community college is the perfect place to make those decisions and figure out which directions, which fields, which majors, degrees you want to try for. And so I did a little bit of undergraduate research at USC. So my project ended up being a study on Chicana heterosexuality, which really inspired me to pursue graduate education. So from USC, I was able to start a PhD program at UC Riverside, and that's the first place that I got some teaching experience. So I've taught in sociology and ethnic studies there at UCR. One of the first community colleges I taught at was San Diego City College in the Chicano Studies department, and then various other community colleges like Riverside City College, San Bernardino, Valley College, and then other universities in the area. So University of Laverne, Redlands, most recently Azusa Pacific University before coming to Oxnard. So I'm very excited to teach for this campus. And so in grad school, my areas of specialization are race and class inequality and gender and sexuality. So it's a good foundation for teaching a class like intro. Hopefully you like this class, and I see you in some of my future classes. And then a little bit about me personally. While I was in grad school, I had a daughter. She's 13 now. And so she kind of grew up in the university. And so she's a big part of my life. Probably in my videos once in a while, I'll talk about her if it pertains to our class content. I also have a crazy dog. He's very hyper. And I have a really temperamental cat also. So I'll upload some photos if you're interested in those aspects of my life. So about the class requirements. What we will do in this class is pretty routine. So except for the first week, there are some additional requirements that each of you has to do. It's mainly to measure your intention to stay in the class and complete the class. So you have a syllabus quiz, which really acquaints you with all of the deadlines. You have also an introductory discussion, so you can introduce yourselves to each other. I also posted how to upload a profile picture. I think it will just help all of us to put a name to, or a face to a name, right? It helps facilitate just interaction with each other since it is an online environment. You don't have to put a photo, but you know, I would encourage it. And those two assignments are particular to week one. But after that, every single week, every module will run the same. So even though you have the introductory module with all the resources, you also have the chapter 1 module. And it will run the same every week. So every Thursday by midnight, 11:59 p.m., your class activity is due. So I will have you watch a film or a film clip, and then you will respond to the questions that I pose to you within the activity. That is to get you started in being interested in the topic, getting you started to encourage you to do the reading. So 11:59 Thursdays, that's always going to be due. You also have to do a weekly discussion post, a minimum of 200 words, a thoughtfully crafted response to whatever I pose. And then you have to reply to 2 other students in the class. So that's not due until Sunday midnight, 11:59 p.m. to be exact. However, I would not wait until the last minute because you do have to post your own original post and reply to 2 other people. So you probably want to do it sooner in the week. And then you have a chapter quiz. Instead of midterms or finals for this class, we're going to take a quiz after every single chapter. So that is also due by 11:59 p.m. on Sunday nights. You wouldn't want to get yourself in a situation where you're prioritizing the discussion over the exam or feeling rushed. So I encourage you to finish those items ahead of time, especially the discussion, as it's more simple, but it can be more time consuming than you might think it is. So you will have the discussion, class activity, and a chapter quiz for every chapter on the same due dates every week. The only 2 additional assignments that don't match that are your your written assignments. You have 2 papers, a toy store and gender analysis. I'll talk more about that as it comes closer to being due. And then in the end of the class, you have a clothing inventory. I call it the fashion food chain assignment. So these are both kind of fun because you get to go out to a store. In one of them, you're looking at boy toys and girl toys, and you take an inventory, and then you do a write-up responding to the prompt. And in the other, you inventory 30 articles of clothing. So the name of it, description, and then how much it cost. And with that project, we'll look at the relationship between rich and poor countries and how clothes are made and what is our role usually as the consumer. So those are things to look forward in the future. And I tried to make the assignments just really clear and simple. So let me know if you're having difficulty navigating through Canvas modules. I hope I designed them to just be self-explanatory. And so I just move on really quickly to just introducing the field of sociology. Of course, I'm going to go more in depth with the next video that I create, which will be specifically on chapter 1. But I just want to talk a little bit about, what sociologists study. So pretty much anything that you're interested in could be studied within sociology. Of course, we can't cover every topic in this short 9-week course. But in the future, if you take more classes in the field, you certainly could. So sociology is a study of human society. It's a scientific study of humans, human behavior, humans in groups, patterns. And so there's many levels of interaction that sociologists study. Not every sociologist looks at the same level of interaction, or they don't view it in the same way. So for example, micro-level interactions. People can study one-on-one interactions between individuals. For example, the way employers and employees interact, or the way men and women interact with each other, or the way people in relationships interact, one-on-one micro-level interactions. And then there can be sort of a meso-level, medium, level interaction where you study families and the dynamics within families. And even within that, there's maybe there's parents and children. 2 parents, they don't have the same authority or decision-making power all the time in the family. It might be whoever has more resources, or who's male or female. And then parents to children. Children usually don't have the same amount of decision-making power or authority in a family, right? And then the ages and gender of the children can also impact how they experience the family, right? So if it's an oldest sibling or a youngest sibling, or a male sibling or a female sibling. One way you can think about that is, if you have brothers and sisters, what were the rules for dating? Are they the same for every sibling? As far as what age they could date, how late they could stay out, if they had to have someone else go with them. Is it the same for boys and girls in your family? right? So sort of intermediate level interactions. And then there's macro level analysis. So looking at the economy, or looking at racial, ethnic relations in society, or looking at the interactions between nations in the world, right? International interaction, war, conflict. So there's definitely a broad scale of things that can be looked at sociologically. And we're going to look at some of them in this course. There's also different theoretical perspectives. So each of those tiny examples I just gave, there are multiple theoretical perspectives, means that there's different ways of looking at them. So different sociologists can look at the same thing, like the family, and see it in a totally different way, or focus on a completely different aspect. So those are just some of the topics that we will look at and consider in the course. So I just wanted to make this short video to welcome you to the class. In the Chapter 1 video, I'll talk about developing your sociological imagination, which means taking your personal biography or the situation of someone else, an individual, and then sort of extrapolating to the wider society. So a lot of times we experience things that happen to us as it's just unique to us. For example, if a person is experiencing homelessness, right? That's just one individual story. However, are they the only homeless person in the city of Oxnard? Are they the only homeless person in the county? Are they the only homeless person in the state of California, in the country, in the world, right? No, it's a larger social issue. So we will work to develop our sociological imagination, is what it's called. So I just want to encourage you to start your reading. I hope that you like the first activity that we have planned. You're going to read what I wrote for the polyandry, marriage in Nepal activity, and then you'll click on the video link. It's going to pop up into a new page in Canvas, and you just click inside the white box, and that will take you to YouTube. That way you're not completely exited out of Canvas. And so you're going to look at a video of women who marry multiple men, and they're actually brothers. And so we're going to look at it, you know, obviously through our own cultural lens, and look at why it works for them. So happy viewing, and I look forward to speaking with you again soon.